GreedFall was called the BioWare killer when it was released. This was before BioWare killed themselves with The Veilguard, developed by Spiders, released in 2019. GreedFall is an action RPG heavily inspired by the old Dragon Ages, with its own colonial fantasy twist. My plan was to play GreedFall before the second one came out. Currently writing this, I just found out it's out, and it's been out for a while, so that's a bit awkward. Anyway, let's see if GreedFall is worthy of being called the BioWare killer, or does it fall short? GreedFall is set in a 17th century inspired world with some fancy elements like magic and monsters for fun. You play as Desarte, a noble diplomat who must travel to the New World to find a cure for a plague called Malachor that has ravaged your homeland. Your cousin Constantine is going to be the governor of the New World and has been infected, so it'll be your job to help him run the place and find a cure. Once you get to the New World, you'll end up getting into local politics, killing monsters and facing an ancient magic, typical RPG stuff. The game obviously draws inspiration from real world history when America was discovered and colonised and how the Native Americans fought back. You'll have to deal with tensions between the colonisers and the natives, and trust me, there's a lot of tension. You'll have to sort out stuff like people killing, kidnapping and even trying to convert the natives. You can pick between who you want to support, but the game makes it hard to not see the natives as anything but the good guys that need help. They just want to live in peace with nature and very untrusting of outsiders, whilst the others are trying to take their land and some are abusing the natives. It's a bit too black and white for me. The main quest is actually alright, it takes a bit too long to get going for my liking, but when it starts kicking off, it did remain engaging till the end. There's a lot of dialogue between characters. I did find myself zone out a lot when they were talking. It's a very wordy game, characters tend to over-explain everything. I think if the script was just tightened up a bit more, this could have elevated the game for me. I didn't find the game to have many standout characters outside of Constantine and a few companions, which is a shame. Voice acting was fine, no one did a bad job, but no one really stood out for me. I guess that's my problem with this game, everything's just fine. The story is fine, the gameplay is fine, graphics are fine, nothing really stood out to me. I was just kind of on autopilot whilst playing it. Decisions did not seem important, at least to me, they only seemed to matter towards the end of the game. You have a reputation meter like in Fallout New Vegas, where different factions can have different opinions of you depending on what choices you have made. This is cool on paper but doesn't seem to affect much till the end of the game. Factions that like you will leave weapons and armour in your chest, but outside of that it didn't seem to make much of a difference. Missions don't have any variety to them, it's always talk to people, go kill a thing or find a thing and come back. If the combat was better this wouldn't be a huge problem, but it just wasn't engaging enough for me for how long the game is. There's definitely not enough variety in the enemies. Bosses are cool and different, they seem like they could be in a Witcher game with how they're designed. It's just the common enemies, they kinda suck. It's human enemies which are easy to deal with, or it's either giant bats or bears with tails for the vast majority of the game. These become very tedious to fight, I would often run past them if I could. So what is the actual gameplay? Let's start with the combat as you'll be doing a lot of it. At the start of the game you will pick between 3 different character types. One is focused on magic, one is focused on guns and traps, and the last one is focused on melee. I went for melee. Combat is real time but you can pause it and choose what action you want your character to do from a menu. This is useful if you want to be more tactical, but I never really used it in the game because it was easy enough without it. During combat you have a light and heavy attack, a dodge and a parry button, and a special move called Fury, which has to be charged up but does high damage. You can set items or moves to the D-pad. I set health potion, guns and magic iron lock to these. It's a simple combat system that can feel clunky, but does get better when you unlock new abilities. Enemies can have armor above their health bars which can be broken. This is why you can have 2 weapons equipped, one that's good at breaking armor and one that's good at damaging health. This was as complex as the combat got for me. Guns seem really OP, I could only use a basic pistol for most of the game, and it was incredibly useful. They don't have the reload time of a gun from that era, so you can fire really fast and ammo seems to be everywhere. If you are only using guns, ammo might become an issue. You can customise your character to suit how you play, which is nice. If you want to be able to talk your way out of any situation, you can put all your points into charisma. Want to unlock every door? Put all the points into lockpicking. It's a good system in theory, it should encourage replayability. But there is always another way to solve your problems, making how you want to build your character seem kinda pointless. So early on there is a mission where you have to get into a warehouse. You could use lockpick on a door, or you could use silence on a nearby wall to blow it up and get a way in, or you could find a key or talk to the guards to let you in with high charisma. You can also take a companion with you that has one of those skills so you don't have to put any skill points into it. Like it's nice that there are options in case you haven't got the right skill, very immersive simmy, but in immersive sim skills normally affect the gameplay too. With how it is in GreedFall you are basically picking what you want to press the interact button on this time. A door, a wall or a person. I'm fine with this stuff in Fallout, it just seems a bit lacking here for me. Like in Fallout, if you can't open a door with a lockpick, maybe you can use silence on a terminal to open it, but other than that you're normally screwed. In GreedFall there just seems to be way too many options, you can never miss something in the game because of the way you've built your character. You get higher tier gear and weapons, but in this game you're encouraged to stick with a piece of gear for longer than most games. This is because you can add items to gear to improve it and give you some new skills as well. Like for me, I only changed my torso piece twice during the whole game, which I thought was neat. I really felt connected to my gear instead of just changing out for the bigger number. Exploration is kind of ass as well. You will explore different hubs rather than a full open world. Your map will be blank to start with question marks on it. These are important things to find. My problem is there isn't actually anything too interesting to find. You're going to find a campsite or a door leading inside, or on a very rare occasion a free skill point, and that's about it. Campsites are basically fast travel points which you'll want to unlock first, as there are a lot of jumping between places for quests. When you leave an area through fast travel, instead of going where you want, you're first taken to a campsite which acts as a loading screen. There is a vendor and a workbench here. This is nice, but can be annoying when you just want to get to a location and have to sprint through this campsite every time. You can sprint whilst exploring and that's about it. There's not a lot of variety in areas, it's just forest areas, fields, towns and caves sometimes. Imagine the rural areas from Assassin's Creed 3, and that's the whole game for the most part. Stealth is also in this game, but it's extremely bare bones. You can crouch, go up behind the enemy and press A to kill them. That's it. Could have done without this in my opinion. There's also a Hitman type system where you can wear clothes of the different factions to go through their forbidden areas without getting caught. Useful for the first few hours of the game, but after that I didn't find a need to use it much. Companions work basically the same as they do in Dragon Age and Mass Effect. You can only have 2 in your party at a time. If you talk to them enough, you can start a relationship with them. They will sometimes chat to each other outside of cutscenes and talk about events that just happened, which is always nice. They can also chime in during dialogue. Sometimes you can also get your companion to speak for you instead of passing a skill check. This is always cool to see when it happened. Actually made me think of what characters should I bring to certain places. Like I always tried to bring Sora, a native, to the island when going to do missions for the natives, as she can explain their culture and customs better. Companions also have some of the best quests which can earn you their loyalty. They tend to have multiple parts to them and some moral decisions for you to make. I really like Kurt's quest about finding out how a missing recruit died, and helping Vasco find out about his past was also quite interesting. Apparently some companions can die later on because they don't trust you enough. None of my team died though. This might be because I did every quest I could. Maybe if I did a second playthrough I would see what decisions actually changed the events of the game. Graphically the game looks good, environments are pretty looking, especially during sunset. Character models can look a bit stiff at times and the lip syncing is off a lot of the time. Animations can be janky as well. Music's a bit moody and fits the game well, but it wasn't too memorable for me. Overall, GreedFall is just okay. It's a very ambitious game with lots of systems. It just didn't come together for me. The main quest is good when it gets going. Combat is alright, but I got sick of it by the time the credits rolled. There was some cool interesting characters in it, but not a lot. I know I've been quite negative, but it's not a terrible game, it's fine. It's normally on sale for a $5. For that price you may as well give it a go. I honestly can't wait to finish this video so I can go check out what other people thought. This definitely wasn't the BioWare killer for me at least. Let's rank it. I'm feeling number 25. GreedFall had a more interesting plot, world and gameplay than the Castle of Frank Stone, so it's above that. But I felt I got more enjoyment out of Chasm overall. Chasm has a nice art style and fun exploration compared to GreedFall. So yeah, the BioWare killer is number 25 for me. I'm now going to go sail for the new world. Wish me luck.